How do you show the ones you love, appreciate, and cherish the most without uttering a single word? What embodies the ultimate emotion of affection with humans? Well, through diamonds, of course. But where do these gems, as clear as water, with a sparkle like the galaxy itself, that express the undying love of one human being to another, come from?
A diamond represents uniqueness, it represents respect, it represents love. So we stay true to those ideals. People that buy diamonds, buy them to give them to the people that they love, they respect, they think those people are special and unique. And that's why you give the loved one a special rock called a diamond.
It all started with the discovery of the Orapa mine kimberlite pipe in 1967. And just 4 years from then, in 1971, we started producing diamonds.
Botswana, formerly known as Bechuanaland, once one of the poorest and underdeveloped nations in Africa, let alone the entire world, has become a shining beacon of exceptional governance, immense economic transformation, and hidden beauty in Africa since gaining her independence from Britain on September the 30th, 1966.
At independence, we were among the 20 poorest countries on earth, with a per capita income of about 80 rand. Our sole source of income was our cattle. And so much that has happened, almost 90% of what has happened because of diamonds.
Firstly, upon gaining her independence with a new flag, symbolizing a new beginning, Botswana's immediate future certainly seemed bleak. Very few people could dream of what this nation would come to be.
We were dependent on what was called British budgetary grants in aid. In other words, every year when we were preparing the budget, a team of the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning had to go to England to submit a request for assistance to pay our civil servants, which of course at that time was mostly British officials or people. But that's how poor we were.
With very little fertile land and vast uninhabitable desert terrains, the people out of the country were mainly hunter-gatherers, reliant on livestock farming, agricultural farming, and subsistence farming, with tourism slowly emerging.
You know, I can't imagine Botswana without the diamonds, because as I say, at that time, not even the wildlife tourism, which is today is an important economic sector, existed at that time. We were totally unknown. So we were totally dependent on the livestock industry. That's why we had the abattoir as the major earner of. That's why, as I say, we were dependent on British budgetary grant in aid. So it's when the diamond revenues came that we were able to graduate out of those handouts from the British government, because they were quite substantial. Admittedly, at that time, also the decision to mine in the copper nickel at Slibe had also been taken.
50 years back, it was really about giving the shareholder return, which enabled them to do significant development in country. We're talking infrastructural development, social amenities, etc. We were very much blessed by our predecessor leaders who ensured that the revenues from this operation went into the development of the economy of Botswana.
With tough times ripping Botswana every year, very few, if not any, were aware of the vast mineral resources and the precious stones hidden right underneath their feet. The birth of the highly economical Orapa mine marked a landmark of transition in a country once seemingly and hopelessly dry, to one with a newfound future of security, opportunity, and transformation. Dreams now a possible reality, all due to the discovery of precious gems buried under the rock and rubble of a nation.
It is the mine that helped this country transform from a very poor economy around independence. It was one of the poorest countries. Right now we talk of a country that is in the middle income classification. So that in itself has been on the back of diamond production revenue. So by Orapa continuing to be the engine of diamond production in the country, that has helped the economy of this country.
Education and training became priority number one. Education and training, provision of water supplies, public health, those were considered our priority at that time. Yes. So initially, it meant building more primary schools as the money became available, and also sinking wells for water supply purposes. Of course, the other nations came to our assistance.
Before diamond, the GDP for Botswana was $70 per capita. Currently, we are sitting at $7,600 per capita. So you can see the role diamonds played from a GDP perspective. That's number one. Number two, infrastructure. Before diamonds, we're looking at 12 kilometers of tarred road. Today, we're speaking 32,000 kilometers of road, and you can see the value of a diamond in itself.
It was really about giving the shareholder return, which enabled them to do significant development in country. We're talking infrastructural development, social amenities, etc. We were very much blessed by our predecessor leaders who ensured that the revenues from this operation went into the development of the economy of Botswana.
So it's been a history of growth and significant contribution to the economy of the country. And of course, technology improvement along the way. So of significance was that in 2000, when we did two plant, we also did a new recovery plant which had significantly improved technology, therefore improving not only the efficiency of recovery of diamonds, but also the security of diamonds, the protection of diamonds with higher automation and higher security controls. And so with that kind of capacity, the mine has been running continuously again up to where we are today. So we are proud that this is the mine that led to a transformation of the economy of the country and is still going.
There weren't many Botswana learned who qualified, and by then there were absolutely no Botswana in business. So at that time the focus was mainly on scholarship, training Botswana. Today where we are now, they have came back, they have worked for Botswana, they have gained experiences, the world have changed. Our expectations are slightly different. They want more.
Debswana was formed as a partnership between the government of Botswana and De Beers Mining Company, with its main objective being diamond mining and associated processes. The dream of mining diamonds and enriching the nation became the driver for the first miners, leaders, and policymakers of the nation.
Diamonds, of course, ultimately became king. because it continued to be very, very, very profitable. And we ultimately got out of the granting aid from the British government because of diamond revenues.
So the focus was on safety, the focus was on the governance, the manner in which we mine our diamonds, the attitude with which we mine our diamonds. So those are the key two factors: absolute zero harm mindset and the governance with which we approach diamond mining.
We have enjoyed good leadership, which has meant that we have a clear direction. So leadership in the country has meant that the country uses revenues from diamonds for the benefit of everyone in the country. I think let's not underestimate how important that is. Leadership in the company has meant that we continue to run Debswana as a business and focusing on the people, focusing on the key business priorities, which has meant that we are able to run effectively and contribute to the growth of this company.
You know, when you work for an organization that has the ability to impact a country in the way that Debswana does, it does something brilliant for the employees. It allows them to come to work every day knowing how they impact. They can see the results of their work on a daily basis, monthly basis. You know, as there are expansion programs, as we see new development, you know directly how you're contributing, and that does so much for our employees.
With the operations of the 4 diamond mines in Jwaneng, Orapa, Letlhakane and Damta, they have significantly contributed to Botswana's economic growth through diamond revenue, which has transformed the country from an agricultural-based economy to the economically booming and financially stable country it is today.
It was known to be one of the poorest countries in the world, but the wise stewardship of our former leaders ensured that the mineral wealth of this country was used purposely for the development of Botswana, for the growth of social services. And I would say that as our production levels increased over the years and as our revenues grew, and so we could contribute more to the government of Botswana. In more recent history, our focus has been about maturing the organization and kind of desire to operate on a global best practice scale. And so through that, we started comparing ourselves to global organizations. We started accrediting ourselves with global standards, ISO accreditation, picking up on global best practice in terms of safety procedures. We continue to evolve the strategy over years. For some time, our strategy was referred to as a high-performing organization. And here we reached out to an organization called MyLens, where they do global competitor analysis, and they look at perhaps our shovel in Jwaneng or in Orapa, and we see how that shovel compares on a global scale in terms of efficiencies and utilization. So we went through a period of just upping the standards in the organization right across, you know, from hospitals, schools, dentistry, MRM methodologies, safety, you name it. In more recent years, our focus has changed to that of focusing on the culture of the organization. And of course, we face new challenges going forward. But I think proudly, as we look back over that period and we reflect on Botswana, back then, this was a dusty, plain country with very little development, probably one of the poorest in the region, very little tar road, in fact. And through the diamond revenues, we saw significant growth, significant opportunity development in country. And at one point for many years, Botswana was known as the fastest growing economies in the world.
We do our mining without harming the environment, and we do so in total harmony with the communities that we operate in. In fact, the communities become our ambassadors. We do our business with high productivities and low cost operations. In fact, we become amongst the best, if not the best, when it comes to efficient low cost operations. And more importantly, all of this is done by a highly motivated workforce. That is what a perfect asset looks like, and that is what we're striving to do as OLDM to contribute to our overall company strategy, which is to make our company a benchmark diamond business.
Through diamond trading, Debswana stands as one of the largest non-government employer in the country, employing well over 6,000 people, with citizens taking up over 93% of the jobs.
This mine employs some 3,000 direct employees of Debswana in various capacities, about 20% of which are women. And on top of this, we have what we call business partners or contractors who also employ some close to 4,000 people in various services that they offer to the mine, some of which are maintenance, some of which are project services. So you're talking a total of 7,000 people contributing directly and indirectly to the business of Debswana.
You know, the literacy rating before diamonds was lower than 30%. Today we are looking at a situation where we have 82% literacy rating of Botswana. You go to a salon to cut your hair nowadays, you can speak national issues with the person cutting your hair, and that goes to show you the value of a diamond and what the role they played in education.
So we have sound governance principles, sound ethics, sound policies and procedures. If we're to look at the matrix of responsibility between management, the subcommittees of the board and the board, this is a well-governed organization, and it has provided the perfect platform to allow innovation, new thinking, successful running of the organization. You know, board is left with strategic direction, and management is required to manage and run this organization. There is no unnecessary interference. It's a very well-run system.
As citizen employees of this company, we are very, very grateful to this company for, I think, the outstanding work it has done to impart skills to citizens of this country. For me, it is an outstanding achievement that this company has done, because think about it. Who really is running the mining industry in this country? Even if you go to the other companies that operate here, the top officials, the key skilled resources, they're ex-Debswana employees. So we have developed skills not only for our own needs, but for the needs of the entire mining industry, including the Chamber of Mines itself. So I think this is what the company needs to be acknowledged for.
For the past years that I've worked for Debswana, it has given me the opportunity to fully utilize my talent. And honestly, growing up as a child, I always wanted to work for a company that is recognized worldwide and that contributes fully to the nation as wide. And Debswana has indeed fulfilled that dream.
Truly, the remarkable strides and developments of an African country in such a short period of time are nothing short of amazing. Culminating from the discovery of a precious mineral that has truly allowed Botswana to reach unparalleled heights of one dream, one nation.